everyone. Welcome to the Sophie Fowler Show. Today we're going to hear from two well-respected students in the Nazareth College Occupational Therapy class. They call themselves K-Squared. We're also going to hear from an experienced occupational therapist, and they're all going to tell us why occupational therapy should not become a doctorate program. We're going to hear about how occupational therapy moving to a doctorate program will decrease the diversity of clinicians. We're going to learn about the differences between a year of experience and a year of research. We're also going to learn about how continuing education courses are very similar to doctorate level courses. And lastly, that there is no difference in salary, but that there is a lot of student debt. Now, please welcome Katie Smith and Katie Kelly. Hi guys.
Hi.
Welcome to the Sophie Show. Can you guys please tell us a little bit about OT moving to a doctorate program?
Yeah, of course. So this has been a raging hot topic in our profession for a long time. Our first topic against occupational therapy moving towards a doctorate is the fact that our profession is very open to different backgrounds and inclusion. This requirement will decrease the diversity of practicing clinicians due to the cost and time of extra schooling. In our opinion, occupational therapy is a field that focuses on being accepting. This would limit some people's opportunities. If all therapists had their doctorate, all OTs would be very similar, as they all have the same exact education. But right now in the field, there are people with their bachelor's, master's, and doctorates, which is a good variety and provides different levels of experience, knowledge, and skills, and also allows individuals to learn from one another.
Now to back this up, Yolanda Griffiths and Renee Padilla's study found that many respondents expressed concern with the effects of that increased intuition and length of program will have on the number of applicants for these programs. Additionally, many are suggesting that moving to an OTD will make the profession less feasible for people in minority and low socioeconomic groups. Additionally, according to a pros and cons list on the AOTA website, the cost of school already turns people away from applying because of all the debt they'll be in. And this debt will turn people away from working in certain fields in occupational therapy. Because they need to pay off their loans, they might not enter specialty fields such as mental health or early intervention.
Next, we're going to hear about experience in the field of occupational therapy versus a year of research for the doctorate degree. I have been told that the last year of school for individuals in the doctorate program is mainly focused on research. Although evidence-based practice is very important in the field of occupational therapy students seem to think that they get enough of this from their master's program. Next, we have an exclusive interview with the one and only Heidi Serrano, an experienced occupational therapist of 20 years that has a bachelor's degree.
And what I am seeing with new graduates or students is that their knowledge base has not changed from when I obtained a bachelor's degree. What they really need is that they need to have more clinical experience. The clinical experience doesn't appear to have changed as it was 20 years ago. I think more clinical experience, more knowledge of diagnoses and medications if you're working in an acute or a long-term care setting, if you're working with children, just being up to date on what's out there and what the current diagnoses are and whatnot, and current practices. I really think that would benefit our students more.
Thanks, Heidi. That was great. In our opinion, experience with clients would be more beneficial as you would learn more than you ever would reading a research article and conducting your own study. Therefore, a year of practice increases competency more so than research would. Also, according to the fact page on AOTA, OT master's programs already have a high credit load compared to most other master's level programs, and the current high credit load in master's programs make it very difficult to add additional content. Therefore, the master's program already gives us enough knowledge. According to AOTA Board of Directors, more practice skills are needed because of 1. Complexity of diagnosis, 2. Rate of technology expansion, 3. Mandate for evidence-based practice and data analysis, 4. Need to help promotion, and 5. Interprofessional emphasis. But you can get all of the same skills from experience. Additionally, they claim that the focus of the OTD is evidence-based practice, care delivery models, and to meet future needs of society. But isn't that what the master's program is supposed to teach us? They continue on saying that an additional 16 weeks of experiential component would be required for an OTD, and the goal of doctorate program is to specialize in designated areas of interest. But experience is what we would be getting from working in the field with our masters, and we would still be able to specialize in a designated area by our own means.
Katie, I've also been told that continuing education courses could potentially be similar to doctorate level courses. Therefore, the clinicians would be getting a similar education, but are just enrolled in a doctorate program. Through continuing education programs, occupational therapists can still partake in discussions and apply and learn from their previous foundation of knowledge.
That's right, Sophie. To back this up, a member from CommunOT expressed that she took an online AOTA mental health course when she needed a boost due to her burnout. She seemed to think it helped a great deal in redirecting her energies and inspired her to develop a sensory modulation program, thus claiming there are other ways to shake up your practice.
That's great.
The final reason why OT shouldn't shift to a doctorate program is the fact that there's really no difference in salary, but you can still acquire the debt and cost of having to pay for grad school.
Right. According to the Department of Labor, an occupational therapist makes $84,000 per year. This finding did not differentiate on the difference between those with a bachelor's, master's, or doctorate degree, as they typically do not affect the amount that they are paid. So a therapist may not be able or want to obtain their doctorate right away. If they want their doctorate, they might be able to go back to school in 10 years or so after they've graduated and been out in the field for some time with their master's. Getting a doctorate post-professionally may be more worthwhile because they'll have the experience and money at that point in time. Then they would be able to apply it to their practice and further build on their foundation of knowledge that they already have. If people had to get their doctorates right off the bat, this may not be as valuable of an educational experience or be economically attainable to be able to make the extra costs associated with paying for grad school.
So, generally, according to the pros and cons list on the AOT website, school costs more and students are making the same amount of money for each level of educational degrees. A study conducted by Elisa Tran, Jeffrey Mintret, Jasmine Yamas, and Christina Yam found that student loans have a large impact on individual health due to the stress placed on these graduates. It was found that approximately 7 out of every 10 college graduates are affected by student loan debt and is one of the highest reasons for financial concerns for millennials living in America.
To go along with this, an individual on the CommunOT forum informed us that people are graduating with these very large student loans and not getting the salaries to match. Her coworker has her OTD but has such high loan debt that she and her husband cannot qualify for a home loan. Another member on CommunOT indicated that what held her back from getting her doctorate was how her company did not take into account her level of degree when hiring her, leading her to not find any justification to take on the financial burden of paying to go back to school. She claims it will benefit her as the cost of the program would not make much difference in her salary.
Griffiths and Padilla stated that there is a lack of faculty members prepared at the doctoral level for institutions to even hire as educators for an OTD program. This may in part be due to the fact that many do not find it necessary to receive their doctorate for occupational therapy, as then they would have to take on the burden of paying for additional schooling when they would still be making the same salary as they did before. They would just have a master's level of education instead.
According to the AOTA Board of Directors, only 5 schools in the country have an accredited doctorate program, but there are 24 post-professional doctorate programs. Therefore, it would be easier and more affordable to attain your doctorate post-professionally.
And lastly, Tran et al. Found that socioeconomic and financial factors are regarded as major determinants of health. It is ironic that as a profession we emphasize health and wellness, yet would possibly be putting excess financial stress and potential health problems on those who practice our profession and preach wellness as a living.
Okay, so what you guys are saying is that those who are for an OTD mandate claim that there could be more opportunities for autonomy and leadership. So to discredit the argument for occupational therapy to move to a doctorate program, the University at Buffalo, however, there are post-professional opportunities and specialties to gain more leadership skills, such as gerontology, mental health, rehabilitation, pediatrics, driving and community mobility, swallowing, schools, and low vision. And all of these will allow clinicians to gain skills in a specific area rather than getting a doctorate. Additionally, a member of Commune OT stated that although she currently has a bachelor's degree, she works hard to keep up with the times by honoring it on research skills using NBCOT's access to PubMed and studying anatomy and refreshing regularly. And through discussion. A discussion regarding finding leadership opportunities on Commune OT brought up ideas such as advocating, talking to representatives, increasing involvement in state associations, sharing knowledge with leaders that are in place now, becoming a mentor, volunteering, serving on committees, taking fieldwork students, getting involved at the state level, and being a representative assembly position or being a community leader in AOTA, and using coordinated online opportunities for leadership and debates. So finally, the Leadership and Volunteer Opportunities page on the AOTA websites claims that they offer many opportunities for members to become active in elected or appointed leadership positions. AOTA alerts, monthly e-newsletters, and the web pages, and OT Practice magazines all announce openings.
Those were some great points, Sophie.
Thank you.
Secondly, those who are for an OTD mandate claim that there would be an increased competency in those who graduate with their doctorate degree. However, many of the existing master's programs meet or exceed the U.S. Department of Education's minimal requirement for a professional doctorate. In fact, Nazareth has a research project requirement built into the master's. That, combined with continuing education opportunities, discredits the idea of increased competency. To back this up, respondents from Yolanda Griffiths and Renee Padilla's study suggested that the move to an OTD is not based off the concerns of the competency of clinicians. The consumers of healthcare services are not voicing concerns about the competency of their occupational therapy clinicians, but instead this is being driven by a group of educators. Additionally, the pros and cons list of the AOTA website argue that other disciplines, like nursing and speech, also have different points of entry. In discussion on Commune OT regarding the pros and cons of higher education, one stated that she noticed the graduate student seemed just as unprepared as she did graduating with her bachelor's, thus having no advantage over her. Another states that with the bachelor's degree, they have expertise in AT, seating and positioning, and sensory processing, is a certified fieldwork educator, and volunteers for Accreditation Council for Occupational Therapy Education roster of accreditation evaluator. She continues to say that many of those with their bachelor degree are beyond competent and are experts in various areas of practice. Another member with their bachelor's degree states that she has not found a post-professional program that she feels would actually further her knowledge enough to be worth her time and money.
Very nice.
Thank you.
Thank you guys so much for joining me today and teaching me all about OT and the debate that's going on. I hope you all enjoyed the show.